Hey everybody, I'm back, and we're doing our show again. This is the Marvel Movie News. Today we're talking about Deadpool 2, we're talking about Logan, we're talking about the Defenders and all that other stuff that came out last week. So sit right there, we'll be right back in a second, bye.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk, we talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's
That's very
Marvel
strong.
Movie
I'm so
News.
bad.
No, that was so strong.
But you know what? For having
so
taken
good.
out, I haven't done that in 4 weeks, 5 weeks, so
Yeah,
it's not too
yeah.
bad.
I maintain it's my favorite part, and I love that it's your least favorite part. It's still every week it makes me happy because I go, it's the one thing that I feel confident in doing, and you're like, Hadiba, where'd you went? And then
I'm freaking out.
Reading the thing, for some reason, as soon as I read on air, I'm like, remember the English language? No, you don't. And you're like, la 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 la. So it's good. Strengths.
Strengths.
Strengths. You can see it on air. That's why we're a team. The three of us. She's good at reading Twitter. I'm not.
Yeah,
You're
I
good at
can't.
reading words. I'm
I
not.
think I just crushed the other mic.
Vamping about
no.
nothing. This guy.
Yeah. No, you're very good at vamping about nothing.
It's an art.
You've got nothing in your head, making fun of Coy. Anyway, hey everybody, we're the Marvel Movie News. This is episode 114, coming to you live from Hell's Kitchen. I thought appropriate. You know, all the Defenders talk we're doing today. So, we tell you all the news from all the studios and why you should be as excited as we are. Subscribe to us on iTunes at Marvel Movie News, or find us at youtube.com/Popcorn Talk Network. You can also find us through their website, popcorntalknetwork.com. On Twitter, we are at Marvel News PTN or at the Popcorn Talk. Also on Facebook.com/Marvel News Show. And guys, if you'll tweet a link out to our show, telling people about our live chat, Doom will retweet you from his booth.
Can you hear Doom?
Doom is quiet.
Doom is very quiet today.
All right, there we go.
There we go.
Hey.
Hi, Doom.
Yeah, it's like you were a pensive Doom.
I think the
Pensive
audio
Doom.
board is already sad.
Because it's your last day.
I know, but
No!
I'll still retweet you guys.
Yes.
You retweet us for today, but not next week. Next week you're going to be busy at another job.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I'm gonna stick around in a certain way. Maybe.
How so?
Doom is issuing an edict that I will never stop talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
The ghost
there
of
we
Doom
go.
lives on always.
We talked to you before the show, Doom, about every single week you're going to send us a Doom's Minute on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Doom's Minute.
And it's only going to be 1 minute, right, Doom?
I'm only.
You will never live that down.
Hard cuts.
I believe that Doctor Strange used the time gem to limit me to 60 seconds of talking.
Exactly.
There you
Exactly. This Doctor Strange. Maybe the one in the box. I don't know.
Who looks
or maybe me.
fantastic.
I think the one behind the mic.
Yeah, behind the mic. I'm the Doctor
I
Strange.
love that Funko Pop.
yeah, it's
Doctor
gorgeous.
Strange.
Funko Pop.
I went to Toys R Us yesterday because I'm an
Yeah, you
adult,
did. Yeah.
and they had a beautiful, completely translucent Doctor Strange Marvel Legends figure.
Oh,
and
dude, I know. I've got that one.
It was a great moment to
beautiful.
just realize how far we've come.
I've got that one. That's a good one. I've got that with the Book of the Vishanti that I
Yeah.
got at the Comic-Con exclusive from a couple years ago.
It was just cool to see it at Toys R Us. Just
Beautiful. Anyway, I am Matt Key at the Matt Key. We're joined as always by Coy Jandreau at CoyJandreau and Markeia McCarty at MarkeiaMcCarty.
Yeah, that's how
I think the Y is I'm still getting the Y wrong. Anyway, we've got Voice of Doom, Culpados tweeting from the Starjammer as usual, and let's get into the news.
Theme song
Yep.
solo. This is what happened in New Orleans. Matt
Yeah.
just lost
Yeah.
his mind, came back, theming up.
Yes.
Oh my God, you guys! I was so sick in New Orleans. It was so
You
funny.
were sick.
Really?
Oh man, I
Did
was
you
sick.
eat bad
I was like-
gumbo?
No, I was sick flying out. I had a really bad cold flying out.
Oh no, yeah,
But,
everybody was sick over the holidays.
Oh my God. And then it was the coldest it's ever been in New Orleans. Everyone there was like, we've never experienced cold like this. And I was like, great.
Thanks.
And it was so funny
Yeah.
because we landed. They're like, yeah, it's been beautiful until today. We're like, good. And they're like, but don't worry, next Monday it clears up. We're like, we fly back that night, late that
Convenient.
night.
Appreciate it.
Great. Thanks, New
Nice.
Orleans.
Perfect.
This is why they delayed Gambit. This is why.
But other than that, New Orleans is one of the most amazing cities, and Lafitte's Blacksmith bar is probably one of the best bars I've ever been to. So
I might be
Fantastic.
going on that road trip of mine, and I might go to
you
New Orleans
should.
and
Dude, Lafitte's hey everybody, Marvel. Lafitte's Blacksmith Shop, the oldest bar, as far as I know, the oldest bar in North America. It was like a pirate's bar in the 1700s.
Oh, I'm just gonna walk around
Yeah.
Gambit quoting.
Yeah.
like
No,
a
you
horrible.
should.
I'm gonna be the worst
Yeah.
person in New Orleans.
I'm sure you'll be the first person to
ever do that.
Ever do that.
All
Like,
right.
what's a Gambit?
Marvel news.
Or
Let's
you
talk
gotta
about.
get some beignets when you're done.
Oh, dude,
Oh,
beignets
yes.
are
Doom demands.
from Doom demands beignet.
Beignets.
You should go to Cafe Du Monde.
Oh, should I?
Yeah,
Du
yeah.
Monde.
That place is known for their.
If anyone's watching
their
from New
vignettes.
Orleans, tell me where to go. I might road trip across the country next week, so I might just randomly shout out Marvellites to help me find things of glory.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk Marvel now that we're like 30 minutes into the show. Logan started. So remember, I don't even know if we had a chance to talk about this because it started, I think, after we went off the air. The 1974 frames of Logan.
I mean, I talked about it, but you
Yeah.
don't watch the shows that I do.
Yeah,
No,
so
I don't.
last,
I don't.
last
Yeah,
week.
we might have
Yeah.
talked about
So-
it.
Coy confirms.
Pretty much handled it.
Coy confirms
it.
that Matt Key doesn't watch the show.
I could have confirmed that Marvel and Fox had some sort of deal, but that'd make me a liar.
Coy confirms him. 1974 frames of Logan. By the way, I love that they're doing the 1974 because that was the year that like Wolverine first hit comics, and officially Hulk at 181 is his first full appearance, but officially Hulk 180 he appeared on the very back page. That's technically his first appearance. But Hulk 181 is the one that everyone goes for. That's the one
I
with him
love
on
that well actually moment.
Let me explain Wolverine to all you guys.
And that they're setting it in 2024, which is exactly 50 years after the debut, which I love.
Yeah, which
Very
is
nice.
super, super cool. Anyway, we know that a trailer is supposed to land this Thursday, like the next trailer. But as we've said, the 1974 frames of Logan has already gone out. Were you guys able to sign up for one?
For no.
frame?
I know Doom tried and
I was able to, and it said you're going to get yours in the mail. I haven't gotten it yet. Maybe I got it today. Don't know. But like I was like, ah, like signed up for it.
It was the
and-
first time I did this really dumb thing where I was like, I need to grow up and not get everything I want, and I don't need. And then, like, as soon as my brain was like, "You do need that. What do you do?" Oh my god, and it was gone. Like,
Yeah.
I literally second guessed it for a second.
Like,
And I was like,
it's free. Like, you put your email in there. Like they've probably already got your email. Like you're not like
I was dumb.
Whatever.
It
Yeah,
was just
you're
real
dumb.
dumb.
You're
I'm
real
trying
dumb.
to be Captain Hook.
Yeah.
Coy.
Wait, what?
Be a child.
That was a deep cut there.
Yeah,
Deep hook.
yeah.
A
that
deep,
was
deep hook.
deep hook cut.
Oh man, he's doing those deep hooks. So anyway, Frames of Logan's
Dustin
coming out. Doom, can you show us some of those pictures? I know I've put some of them in the folder there. Let's take a look at it. So I know Mangold and Hugh Jackman both got frame 1 and frame 1974, which I
Yep.
think is very appropriate.
Gorgeous.
But I don't have them in any order. So we'll just go through some of these just to see what we're in store for. You know, I think there's one frame in here where I'm like, oh man, that person got the frame of all the frames. Like I can't. It's just Wolverine like with his claws out running down a hall. Like a lot of these are here's hands, here's a car, here's a bad guy shooting, but. Like this is like hands. All right, that's cool.
Well,
like,
hands have so much expression
Well,
to them.
and,
Like
like,
this
it's-
is and like the grittiness of
That's
this.
just-
Oh
and
my
that seems like-
God.
I'm sure that's exactly
for
how they justified it. And they're like, hands are very important. It's cool.
Yeah.
For those that aren't joining us live right now, aren't watching this on video, it is two hands holding hands.
They
They're-
can't see it.
Yeah,
Gritty hands.
I'm guessing that that's Wolverine's forearm and hand is bloodied, grizzled, and
It
it's
is-
sepia toned.
Yeah, it's all sepia. It's all like black and white.
Yeah, and it looks like he's holding a
It's very
smaller
dramatic.
hand, perhaps a child.
Now they can see it.
Yeah, it's either that's either Daphne Keene's hand as Laura Kinney, the X-23
yeah, that's my
clone.
assumption.
Right.
Or, but like, because I can't, the lights are kind of in my way, but it could also be Professor X's hands, you know. So, anyway, yeah,
It's
I think that's a
definitely
cool.
Laura Kinney because
Is
you
it?
can see
It's
the
a little
jean
hand.
jacket that we see her wearing.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I can't see it from here. The lights. That's a pretty cool one, like one of the Reavers shooting. I cannot see these lights are
This
right in my
appears
eyes.
to be Logan's arm and his closet.
Yeah, I swear the frame that I get is probably just going to be like a shot of grass or something. I mean, oh, great. Artistic, like a
here's
very
another
well
one.
done shot
Here's
of
a
grass.
good one. We've got.
Oh, yeah, Daphne Keene as Laura running.
What a brilliant marketing
And there's a-
campaign.
This is so like, I love this.
Because you're literally frame by frame releasing it. We're excited about frame by frame. We're giving you free publicity to talk about every frame that we're excited about. And all you had to do was
Look at
send
that.
out, like, this
That's
Who
is
got
greatest
that?
one.
Who got that card?
a happy bugger.
I
Like,
know,
that is
person.
a great card. And then we got X-23, or which she, I mean, I don't know if she's gonna be X-23 or not, but
And then we've got Old Man Logan. There's a lot. Yeah, go ahead and check out the video. You'll see that there's a lot of different
yeah.
ones.
All right. So I'm glad that you hit that, because I was just gonna talk about that. So they also just released a new synopsis for the film. Hugh Jackman did it on his Twitter, and it was that picture that he released. And it says, in the near future, a weary Logan cares for an ailing Professor X in a hideout on the Mexican border. But Logan's attempts to hide from the world and his legacy are upended when a young mutant arrives, being pursued by dark forces. So, it's nothing that we kind of didn't already know. We all, like, that's the plot of the film. We know the plot of the film, more or less.
But it's good to make it official.
It is, but it's like, oh, here it
Cool
is.
to read.
And so I think that's frame 1, if I remember correctly. No, that's the last frame. That's the last frame, and that's frame 1. Yeah, I've got those memorized, guys. I'm so cool.
This was New Orleans, just not flipping through frames. that are
Yeah.
gonna be
Dude,
released.
I was sick in the hotel room for a whole day.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, like Brittany and her boss Darren went out and had fun and everything. I was sick, but look, I'm making it sound down. I had a blast. Like, New Orleans
Yeah.
is the best. It was just like, oh man, why am I sick in New Orleans? This is the worst. Like, because New
Daniel
Orleans is like the
Drew-
funnest city in the world.
Daniel Drew is watching live, is getting one of the frames too.
Oh, nice, Daniel Drew.
Oh, mail guy.
So
Yeah,
jealous.
Good mail day.
send
Daniel
it
Drew,
to
man.
Doom.
Yeah.
Daniel Drew's killing it with the mail.
Send it
Yeah.
to Doom. We'll put it on.
Yeah, send us the pic if you get it.
So I want to point out though, real quick, that talks about his legacy, and I know comicbook.com did this, and this was the first place I kind of thought about it, because they highlighted legacy, but he's Logan's attempts to hide from the world and his legacy. Like, what is his legacy that he's trying to hide from? Is his legacy the X-23 that, like, they've used him to experiment on, so he's running away, or is his legacy that he's always the one who ends up being the killer, like he's trying to run
Yeah.
away from that, like, are ghosts from his past chasing him, like...
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
what's his legacy, you know?
have
So-
to wonder where they're gonna, field from. Is it gonna be
Yeah.
like an Old Man Logan with what he did?
Exactly.
Because legacies don't have to be like this beautiful dynasty of beautiful
And
acts.
that's
it can
not
be
what.
that.
If he's running and hiding from it, it's definitely not that. So that makes me
Yeah.
wonder, like, I don't want. God, I really don't want to spoil
I
like
know.
Old Man Logan, even though it's
Yeah.
like
10
2008,
years
like it's basically 10 years old
Yeah.
story, but like.
He does some stuff he's not proud of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he's manipulated. He's mentally manipulated into doing some awful. By the way, if you haven't read Old Man
Horrific.
Logan
that.
and you are a Marvel fan in any capacity,
Yeah.
go read Old Man Logan. It's one of the best Wolverine stories out there. I love that
it's
story.
fantastic story.
But
Ultimate
yeah,
Wolverine's also got a cool backstory where he was like basically a merc. Like he was hired to kill Xavier. So like that could be a cool like Ultimate
That's
Wolverine.
cool.
Yeah, the first issue of the Wolverine and Ultimate X-Men was him.
Yeah,
he was hired
I
to
never read the
infiltrate.
Ultimate line.
Oh, it's great.
So
Also, if you're a Marvel fan and host a Marvel show, you should read Ultimate X-Men. Schneider.
dude,
oh goodness!
Just Matt's
some-
back. I'm just going for him.
There's some
you were
shade
going for it,
today.
man. All right, we should move on.
We should move on before we talk about Ultimate X-Men more because
We should move on before we talk about the fact that there's a million Marvel comics and Matt has only read like 10,000 of them.
only read Doctor Strange. He's not an Ultimate X-Men.
I'm not a true Marvel fan. I'm only a Doctor Strange
He
fan.
just
Oh my
patiently
goodness.
waits for Doctor Strange news.
Where's the new Doctor Strange? Ooh, I can't talk about anything else.
Art war.
So true.
I'm only giving him a hard time because I missed him.
Well, I missed you too. I missed all of you guys, and I missed the fans.
Yeah,
Hey, we're
for
all
a
back.
month. We actually didn't see each other for a full month.
I
which
know.
is a
Yeah,
long time.
yeah.
I know.
An
It's
indie
weird.
romance.
Yeah.
Did you get your huge Matt Key hug?
No,
'Cause
I
I got
didn't.
a
That's
huge
why I'm
one when I came in.
upset.
Oh.
I
It
don't-
was
I
personal,
know, hug,
Corey.
man. I'm just kidding. That's so not true.
He hugs them well.
I'm a hugger. I like hugs.
Good hug this
I
guy.
hugs. And since I'm like a giant, like I have to pick
He
almost
gets a
Yeah.
different
everyone up.
area
Yeah.
of hug than most get because there's a lot more height.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got some air in the hug.
Yeah.
So it was
Important.
just like, yeah.
So
best
let's talk Black Panther real quick, where we learned due to EastBayTimes.com, we learned. Here's the quote. In one scene, the film's protagonist has a flashback to 1990 while he was a student at St. Mary's College High School in Berkeley, and of course, he's a daily AC transit commuter. Cue the 1990s era bus for the appropriate establishing shot. So, East Bay Times is excited about the fact that Ryan Coogler is from their area and wants to set one of the like one or two or how many scenes in like Oakland around the 1990s,
Nice.
and he
Okay.
wants to use a specific look to the buses of that time.
Oh, it's so good.
That's sweet.
So T'Challa goes to high school in the 1990s in Oakland, like in a high school, like a film that had, while he's a student at St. Mary's College High School at Berkeley. So he's going to school there in the 90s.
That's amazing.
I think that's
I'm so excited.
like I'm just like I don't know why I'm excited about that.
Because it's
but-
the 90s.
Well, it's the 90s,
that,
and hopefully he's
yes.
wearing like either Jams or MC Hammer pants. And,
Oh, please.
right? Like T'Challa and some Hammer pants.
Oh, wow.
All about
Either
it.
that or like
All about
crisscross.
it.
Some Jinko jeans walking
They're-
by.
Oh my
They're
god!
back-
Like he's got his
yeah.
backwards overalls on.
Yes.
And he's got the Kid and Play haircut. Like I'm all about it.
Oh my! Please let him have
right?
a high top fade.
Oh my god! He's got like the line.
Oh,
like
I love that.
Yeah. Like,
the
Sweet.
Tupac and
Yep.
Juiced haircut.
oh my god. So he's got that. He's probably all in love. Probably in love with who do you think? Counting Crows? T'Challa and the Counting Crows.
Wow.
I'm gonna give him a little more Biggie and Tupac flavor personally.
T'Challa's running around
I
going,
love that Counting
Mr. Jones, help me.
He's the giant Garth Brooks fan. He's like, man, Chris
love the
Gaines.
rules."
This Chris Gaines movement Garth
Oh
Brooks
my
is doing,
God.
it's incredible.
Oh lords.
Oh, so that's fun. Anyway, he goes to school in
Jinko
the 90s.
jeans, Garth Brooks fan, T'Challa. That's what I want to
Yep,
see.
yep. Or he's a big Nirvana guy. Like he's totally in the grunge. He's wearing the flannel.
Just really upset the whole time. Like somehow just morose T'Challa.
He's like, I should have gone to school in Seattle. That place knows what's going on.
one day I'll
that
run a
place gets
country,
it.
but not now.
Some Three Doors Down plays and he turns it off. He's like, it's
My
like, I
dad
don't know
just
why,
doesn't
but
understand.
Anyway, 90s.
Did you guys see the hot toys that leaked for the new
Yeah,
Black
yeah.
Panther toy?
I've got that in the picture section
think I
because
did.
Daniel sent that. If you want to look in the drive, I've got Daniel
got
sent us a collage.
Thank you, Daniel, for doing that.
Yeah.
So while you're doing that, Doom, I'm going to talk about real quick. Markia, you probably know more about this than I do with the Black Panther stuff.
Okay.
But Kilgrave's original name was M'Baku, I believe. M'Baku, I think. And
God, there's so many. M'Baku, I believe, is.
Or is that Mane?
No,
M'Baku was
he's
the
the
That's
Mane.
Mane, okay.
Yeah, with the white gorilla tribe.
That's right.
You know,
So-
they're kind of like on the outskirts of
trying
the
to
political
remember-
system at the time.
I'm trying to remember Kilgrave's original name, but his family was, I think he was exiled, or his dad was, I can't remember. He ends up exiled, goes to school in America.
Kilgrave?
Killmonger. Sorry, Killmonger.
Yeah, because I'm like, wait.
Yeah,
wait,
sorry, I was
which-
just thinking
which
about
character
Jessica.
are we
Like I was talking about
Yeah.
Jessica Jones in my head
Jessica
earlier
Jones is,
today.
Kilgrave.
Killmonger, Eric Killmonger.
Eric Killmonger.
But his original name was like, it's not M'Baku. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He comes to school in America, correct? And that's where, like, I think he goes to MIT, and he spends his entire life planning to exact revenge on T'Chaka and that whole Black Panther family line, right?
Yeah, Eric Killmonger does get a Western education because
Yeah.
he's kind of like exiled, like you
Yeah.
were saying. But the funny thing is that being part of that Western influence, he for some reason feels like T'Challa, excuse me,
Mm-hmm.
is even more influenced, and that's a detriment to
Yeah.
Wakanda. It's so weird.
It's
Catch
kind of
22 with
a
that.
weird, yeah.
Yeah, where then he comes back with was it Sonic Hand guy?
Claw. Ulysses
the
Claw, yeah.
Ulysses Claw. Thank you. And then
Killmonger's original name, and I'm gonna butcher this, so I apologize. It's like Njadaka.
spell it.
It's N then an apostrophe, which is why this is
Yeah.
difficult.
Njadaka.
Njadaka.
Yeah,
so it's
Njadaka.
Njadaka.
Njadaka, yeah.
Okay.
So he comes, but I know he went to school in America, so I'm wondering, because T'Challa I don't think did. I think he's like full-on Wakanda education from what I can remember of the comic books. He interacts with America and the West a lot. He's on the
lot.
Avengers. Like he's engaged to
great
Monica
deal.
Lynn at some point. Like they met in America. So
Well-
all of that, yeah. But here's where I'm curious: are they specifically doing him going to school in America? And is Eric Killmonger a part of that school? Because it would be amazing if
Oh, that'd be a nice adaptation.
the two of them
Yeah.
are kind of
friends,
like friends, or maybe
frenemies.
they're frenemies or they're enemies,
Yeah.
or like Killmonger's like, oh, I want to kill you, but I've got to be your friend for like kind of like getting like don't know. But I wonder if they're doing something with that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I'd be nice to see
it's-
more Michael B. Jordan. I mean,
Oh, well, yeah, no, he's great.
as much
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan. And Michael B. Jordan in the 90s would be awesome as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
That'd be fantastic.
Plus some
One of the
Fruitvale
things.
Station love.
Oh,
You see
yeah.
Fruitvale? That was in Oakland.
It's in my queue.
It's real good. It's real good. And it's Ryan Coogler. This is the director of
I
Korean.
know
That was his
this.
first big thing. Yeah.
Real good.
Yeah. It's a very real possibility because with T'Challa, but his like whole coming of age thing happened primarily in Africa, and that's where he met Storm and all like that. But yeah, since he does spend a great deal of time when he's an adult, because he has to be worthy of the Black Panther title, because his uncle at the time is in the comic storyline, his uncle is taking care of the Empire. So yeah, that would be.
Yeah, I think
I
that
could
would be
roll
very
behind
interesting.
that.
Yeah, so
since they killed his father already,
Yeah.
they have to go a different route with
Yeah.
things. So yeah.
yeah. All right. Anyway, Doom, did you want to show that picture that we got real quick
Yeah.
of Black Panther and how awesome he looks? He's wearing a cape, I think I saw.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh my God, that's
Yeah,
a
isn't that
beautiful figure.
gorgeous?
Yeah. Who sent that in?
Daniel.
Daniel. Good work, man.
Super
solid.
Jedi
Jedi
like
True
it's
Saiyan.
Solid work. That's great.
It's regal. It's like it's got. I don't know. There's something very like authoritative
There's majestic.
about it.
It's
Yeah.
majestic. It's majestic, and that's what the Black Panther is. Like
And then-
he's sort of like majesty incarnate. Like it's. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And you see that just from looking at this. Something
Yeah.
that we brought up last week, that Coy brought up, is that some people saw Black Panther as threatening or as like a bad guy, and I'm like, how can you
Yeah.
think? But it's also because
you
we
don't
know
know the
Black
character,
Panther,
yeah.
and I'm guess like looking at that picture, I'm still like, that's just majestic and cool.
Yeah,
I guess
so
he
majestic.
was working against our
heroes were
protagonists
established
in the
with.
last
Yeah.
one. Like, not that he was doing anything bad.
Yeah, I
and,
mean,
like,
he had
but I
an
get
antagonistic
that,
relationship.
But that
so-
makes him a better character, in my opinion, because he's
Oh,
so
yeah.
well thought out and like he's got nuance and layers. Like I love
Yeah.
that. I love the idea that someone could watch him not know the Black Panther and be like, "Oh, that's the bad guy," because like to me that shows how good a job Boseman did and how
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
and how well fleshed out the character was, so
It's
that we can lead
gorgeous.
into his own movie and
Yeah.
like the cast for their own movie. Like I want to have a Michael B. Jordan have good qualities and have him have negative qualities, so they're actual real people, and they've done that so far. Like
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Black Panther's going to be Oscar
Ugh.
bait-tastic.
Yeah.
It's gonna be huge.
Yeah, it's gonna be
awesome.
Yeah, I cannot wait for that film. That's February of 2018, if I remember correctly. So they'll be filming very soon. Like,
Well,
we're
yeah,
gonna
they're
have
casting
to.
everyone else now. So,
Yeah. So let's move on because we don't have. We have 1,000 other things to talk about. X-Men Supernova is now maybe the name of the next X-Men film. So this is a little confusing. So stick with me here. X-Men Supernova for a while was thought to be the working title for the New Mutants film, which we know goes into production later this year. However, now according to like Production Weekly and other like websites where like crew goes to look for work and stuff, where they have all the names listed, typically only with working titles, but they've got X-Men New Mutants along with X-Men Supernova, and now they're putting X-Men Supernova working title Dark Phoenix. So it seems as if this is kind of like a very loose confirmation that we're going to get New Mutants filming later this year, as well as the next X-Men film and that particular storyline following Apocalypse with Jean Grey getting into the Dark Phoenix saga.
which makes sense, and that we've been teased the '90s for a while, and chronologically it makes sense, and we were given Phoenix at the end of
Apocalypse.
We
that
definitely
movie
were.
that happened. So I would, man, I really just want him to start over, and I know a lot of people are with me on this, and like
I want them to start over with Marvel.
they just keep
Yeah.
starting over.
Just start over, but do it right.
I mean, that's what a concept. Because they
Do
just
it right.
kind of started over. They just kind of started
Yeah.
over with Apocalypse.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like I don't know how many like free passes they'll get from the public.
Yeah.
Because people are already upset about like Spider-Man's had 2 reboots in a lifetime. X-Men's had like 1.5, 2.
Yeah,
kind
like
of
one and a
3,
soft- yeah,
If you
it's-
count X-Men First Class, which I consider the best of them, I know I'm that guy.
Yeah.
But like if you go that route, they've had a lot of chances, and it just feels like everyone's like reboot, and they
Yeah.
keep half doing it.
Yeah.
So if they're going with Dark Phoenix and they go this way with the same actors, I would love a new creative team involved. So
I
have no
agree.
problem with the actors.
Yeah.
I think the actors were incredibly well cast. I love the universe they built. I just think they could.
I agree.
Yeah.
So let's talk very quickly on the Dark Phoenix saga. That story is that Jean Grey discovers that this cosmic entity called the Phoenix is coming to inhabit her. It starts to inhabit her through her like telekinetics and telepathic psyche and everything. But the Hellfire Club is after her also because they know about the Phoenix. They want to harness that power. Right. They kind of turn her against the X-Men. She then releases herself, and she's like, no, screw you guys and screw these X-Men. I'm more powerful than all of y'all combined. I'm going to go do my own thing. She decides to go out into the cosmos, makes a star go supernova, destroys an entire planet. Then
the system, right? I thought
was
it just a planet? I thought it was a whole solar system.
Well, she destroys a civilized world within that solar system,
right?
And the Shi'ar, it's a Shi'ar world, and they're like, oh hell no, no. So they come to claim Phoenix for themselves. They're like, she's got to be executed. She's a threat to the entire universe, basically. And the X-Men fight back. Jean Grey eventually is like, no, like, I am too powerful. I can't necessarily control this thing, and she takes herself out. Commit suicide to keep that power from inhabiting her and destroying the universe. So that's the storyline. We'll see what they do with it over at Fox, but that's the basic story.
It could be a trilogy. Like the Phoenix storyline could be, if I were to reboot the X-Men, I would start with an X-Men First Class, have the Phoenix be Marvel Girl, have her have like some issues with stress, not even anxiety, and then the second movie have like a darkness, because if you do it in the first movie, you don't have the wonderful innocence of Marvel Girl. You don't have the wonderful like little spark of how great and everyone loves her, and there's a reason both Cyclops and Wolverine fall in love with her. You need that in the first movie. The second movie allows for some darkness, maybe even just teen angst disguised as Phoenix flavor, and then the third movie you could actually have you care about the character so much you get the Phoenix. The thing that Bryan Singer did wrong with the first one was when you had the Phoenix this end of the second movie, it didn't feel like enough. It never felt like we really were invested. And then to have her at the end of the introduction of Jean Grey with Sophie Turner, it's like, we can't fast forward to that. Like, we just met this broad. So, like, I just feel like if you want to do that story, you need the Claremont era lasted 20 years for a reason.
Yeah.
So, the problem X-Men have had is they want to have 8 storylines at once. If you rush the Phoenix storyline, you'll have the same problem. So, don't reboot with that.
Yeah. Markia, did you...
Yeah, because I'm burnt out on trilogies. I'll be honest. Yeah. I want something in 1 or 2 movies now. I don't want to have to wait 4 years to complete a storyline, to complete a story with this character, or 6 years. Yeah. I don't want it, and I'm kind of tired of it. But yes, I agree that they try to do all of these storylines within one movie. So how about just stick to that? Just that character, just her storyline.
I just don't know if we'll love her enough.
Well, I think let's give it a try. We don't do standalone movies anymore. We don't do it anymore. Let's
that's why
do
I love
it.
Hell or High Water, because it's the first standalone movie that I've really been like, like it was a good arc story movie. It felt like the 90s. You just saw a movie.
That's something that the 90s were good about. I mean, think about like with Die Hard original. It was like this beautiful stand-alone movie, and then from that, it's like, okay, let's take this storyline
actually works.
further.
We like this character. Let's see what else he can do.
The problem with comics is they're serialized.
But too many times they'll just stretch things out and stretch things out and throw in filler, and it's like, you know what? Screw that. Let's just have it in one movie, and then if we love it, continue it from there, because goodness knows there's more storylines.
Yeah. All right, we've got to move on. Okay. Let's talk Cloak and Dagger real quick. They are working with like we discussed working titles earlier. They're working with the working title of Shadows. It's scheduled to start, according to NOLA.com, New Orleans, Louisiana.com. They're scheduled to start production in February, and they have a budget of $42 million, which is a pretty substantial budget for a 10-episode series on freeform television.
Have they confirmed that it's 10 episodes?
No, but
I find that anywhere.
it's probably going to be something like that, 10 to 12 episodes. It seems like television is kind of moving that direction a lot.
10 is a good number.
I think 10's a good number, you know, and I don't think they want to do a whole 24 order season. Like, that's so big to do. So
it'll depend. What Freeform does with a lot of their content is they do split seasons. Like, just the way they number things, it'll be like season 1 and 1.5, and a lot of that's just for it's for budgetary reasons, because things change when you actually change the number of the season. Yeah. So I actually saw that number and was concerned, because they're giving they give roughly $40 million for all the Netflix series. Yeah. And the producers of that are always like that budget's pretty stretched thin. Yeah. Well, at 13 episodes. So if they're gonna make them do 20 on a $42 million budget, that's like nothing.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. That's why I think it's probably going to be a smaller order, especially with all the effects. Like, I mean, Dagger's effects are relatively simple. It's just her like shooting flashes of light, but Cloak's effects are going to be pretty substantial, and
but
like he's got a whole.
is probably easier to use.
Sure, but
CGI-wise.
he's got a world inside of that cloak that like they're going to have to also build all that if they go that direction. Anyway, let's move on. Deadpool 2. Haha. You're welcome. I put that in just for Coy. Because I know he'll actually talk about it.
Of course he's wearing Deadpool shirt.
Of course he is. He's got a
Because
closet just of Deadpool shirts.
I do have an entire row in my closet of Deadpool shirts.
Unbelievable.
Which isn't
Fantastic.
necessarily safe.
Yeah,
So
I'm doing
Collider-
Sailor Moon today.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. It's not Marvel.
There's Sailor Moon news.
Yeah, ooh.
Yeah, we're not talking. We have so much more. Like, we are so behind right
Just
now.
harassing Matt at this point.
I know.
So
Samurai Jack?
we love you, Matt.
Samurai Jack is not Marvel also, nor
great,
is
though.
Yosagi Yojimbo, as much as we all might wish that.
Powerpuff Girls?
Nope,
Oh,
they're not. I don't think they are. No, I think they're
No.
probably over at IDW. Anyway,
Wonder
let's
Woman comes out in June.
stop it. Can't wait for that movie, but it's DC, and we've got way too much to talk about.
The host has wandered off the subject.
I have not. I have not wandered off the subject. I'm trying to stay on subject.
Hey,
Skip it up! Skip it up! Skip it up! So Collider talked with screenwriters Paul Wernick and Rhett Reese this week, saying that they talked about X-Force, Colossus, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, and Cable. So let's hit X-Force real quick. They said that the film will definitely set X-Force up in some way, but its purpose, this is Rhett Reese saying, its purpose is not to set up X-Force. It will likely set up X-Force, but the drive of the movie won't be our eyes on movie 3. So basically, what you're saying, let's just see a standalone film. Maybe it happens to set up another film later on, but let's just see a standalone film. Deadpool 2 on its own.
itself.
Good.
Scooby-Doo-boosh.
It's got an ending.
And Paul Wernick added to that saying, we want to hint at things, we want to plan some characters and all that, but Deadpool 2. So there's that. They also said Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead would definitely be back.
Yes.
How much
Yes.
they'll be back, don't know. They are still like in the midst of like writing various drafts of the script, but they know that they'll be back. The big news is Cable. His origin in the comics is so confused. Like, I've read a lot of those comics. I still don't know.
He's the 90s embodied.
Yeah, like
Pouches and
he's
all.
like he is so like a product of the 90s. He's the son of
the
an alternate
clone.
of a clone, Madeline Pryor, Jean Grey, and Scott Summers, and an alternate timeline future. So Jean Grey and Scott Summers are his mom and dad, kind of, but not
But
really.
a different Jean Grey
but
from
a
an
different Jean
alternate
Grey from
reality.
an alternate reality.
And he's
Like,
not
it-
X-Man,
Okay.
because X-Man is another Nate Grey.
Yeah.
X-Man is a different version of Cable,
Yep.
kinda.
Yep, and then there's also his clone Strife.
Right.
Like it's
It's a lot.
a lot. And then his arm is metal because he was infected with the techno-organic virus, and he's telekinetic, but he has to focus all of his telekinesis
To keep his arm
to
from,
keep
like,
his
causing
arm
it
from,
to-
from like that sickness from spread. It's
Right.
it's a mess.
It's a lot.
It's a
Yeah.
lot. It's
But
a lot to
it's
take in.
gorgeous.
why he's
Oh,
so
it's
grumpy.
if you're
gorgeous.
if you're a comic book fan, you're like, oh, give me all of this. But
Yes.
for a film,
Yeah.
we can't spend 45 minutes just trying to
Explaining
explain who
that?
he might be. So, so here's the quotes from them. It's intimidating to write for him. It's intimidating because we have to find his voice, and we don't have an actor yet, so we don't know who we're writing for. I think that's big news because a lot
Okay.
of back late last year, everything was Kyle Chandler's
Yeah,
Cable.
Kyle
Kyle Chandler's
Chandler.
Cable. We're doing Kyle Chandler. Then it was, oh, the director's leaving because he wanted Kyle Chandler and Ryan Reynolds didn't. They're saying, no, we don't have an actor.
Right.
We've never had an actor.
And then he
There's
came
been
out-
people talked about. We don't have an actor yet.
The director coming out and being like, that wasn't what happened, guys, was
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
kind of nice.
Yeah.
And then
That
Ryan
was
Reynolds
nice.
being like, that's not what happened. Like,
Yeah.
every single person's been like, no.
No.
But everyone rushes to headlines because
Yep.
it seems more dramatic. So
Yeah.
I'm
Well-
glad they're writing it around whatever they shaped
Yeah.
Cable
And
to be.
I love Gamer Girl. Cable's origin is wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, weird stuff. Yes.
Very true.
Correct.
It
Yes,
is.
it
It
is.
absolutely is.
Perfect.
So going on from that, they say there's been a lot of diverse people brought up as possibilities for Cable, people that they want to consider that haven't even been pulled into the room. So there's still like a giant casting process for this character. But along those lines, they say we'll certainly make him like he is in the comics. We'll certainly be faithful. Authenticity is so important. I think part of what made Deadpool such a success, I think we're going to continue with that authenticity. Finally, they say, I think we're going to distill him down to his essence. It will be authentic and faithful, but it's not going to include the 18,000 details if you were going to read a Wikipedia page about Cable.
Perfect.
So,
and I also love they talked about they didn't bring him into the first movie because they wanted to give Deadpool. He's too much character to introduce in Deadpool's origin, so that's great. And now they have room. We love Deadpool. We know him. People have seen the first movie.
My thoughts here is he'll be a time traveling mutant who comes back in time, and that's going to be enough for Deadpool to be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, WTF? That makes no sense. You're a character I can screw around with because you're out of time, and now you're back in time, and we're both trying to get, like...
He can have the powers without the history.
Enough.
He doesn't need the Jean Grey stuff. He doesn't need the Cyclops stuff. He can, and then later, if you want to bring Cable into the X-Men universe, you can. That can be a great "I'm your father" reveal.
Yeah,
you can have
like
Darth Vader
they'll
moment.
set him up as X-Force, who's probably ends up being stuck in time, and he's the leader of X-Force, which is probably why they're still trying to find the actor, because he's going to have to help lead
7 contracts,
a whole other franchise. Yeah. So anyway, let's move on. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Doom, talk to us. You got 1 minute.
Oh, yes. All right. I only have 1 minute. So last week's episode was a lot of fun. We're getting deep into that LMD territory.
Yeah.
There's a major reveal that I'm not gonna spoil at the very end about who our bad guy is.
Yeah. If you haven't watched last week's episode, watch it.
It's real intense. It's a great. I think it's a great way to set up what we're doing going forward.
I agree.
And it sort of takes out some of the concern about too much crossover with Ultron.
Yeah.
Which
I agree with. That was something that was bothering me too.
Too much Ultron, and now it doesn't feel like that, which is great. Stuff coming down. Like tonight's episode is called The Patriot. I'm so excited because we're going to get into Mace's backstory.
Director Jeffrey Mace, who
in
the comics is also known as the Patriot.
Yeah.
He at one time took over for Captain America.
There's a couple of people who think that he might just pick up Cap's shield on the show since it's in flux right now.
Oh yeah, that would be pretty cool.
That might be a little much to give shield, admittedly.
Yeah.
But it could be. What his secret is tied to the events around Civil War.
Yeah.
That's what I think tonight's episode is going to be. It's where was he in Vienna? He was supposedly being a hero. Tonight we're going to find out what secret he has. We had one theory on the after show last week that he might not even be an Inhuman. I
don't think he is. I think he's probably been experimented on in some way.
He might be a super soldier, Captain America style, but to a lesser extent.
Yeah. Well, did you see that there's something about how he has to have that briefcase with him? I wonder if that's
exactly.
He rages out and his medication in there will subdue him.
Or it's a perfected version of the Hyde formula or something like that.
Yeah. I think that there's something going on with that. Definitely.
The stuff that's coming up today, or that they released, not on today's episode.
Yeah.
Koenigs are coming back.
Patton Oswalt's character, I'm super excited about it, but even better than him coming back is the fact that they're going to reveal that whole story of how he has 13 brothers, they all look the exact same, they all act the exact same.
It doesn't make sense. People are saying they're LMDs, but the timeline doesn't add up for them to be LMDs.
So maybe they're magical, maybe they're mystical in nature, and that's why the Darkhold has something to do with them.
Yeah, little spoilers there, but the synopsis that they released says that it's something to do with the Darkhold, and my first thought was.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
They might. What if all the Koenigs are the Darkhold Redeemers?
Don't even say it, man. I want to write the Darkhold Redeemers movie so bad. I don't want ABC to be ABC's gonna beat this unproduced writer. But girl, don't take my idea.
I just want more. Well, if you want to write it with all Patton Oswalts running around,
it's not the worst way to
There's
go.
one. We know they have at least one sister, so you get Patton Oswalt in drag for a little bit.
Also, not the worst way to go.
All right. Well, let's move on. There's also Inhumans news you wanted to talk about, Doom.
They put out the casting, or there was a leak for the supposed
Medusa
character breakdowns for all of them, for the entire cast, and it seemed it was fake names, but they all lined up letter-wise, so it looks like it did confirm Karnak.
Karnak and Black Bolt. I love those two characters so much.
I just wanted to express my disappointment. Is really the character descriptions sound great, but everyone except I think one or two of the minor characters was listed as required to be Caucasian.
Yeah.
And that was an extremely... this was, I thought, their big chance to really, break away from, the issues that Marvel has had recently with Iron Fist and Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And really, brought in their things because these are Inhumans. They're aliens. They could be anything.
Yeah.
And the fact that ABC felt they needed that to be in the breakdown for Black Bolt and Medusa disappointed me.
Not to reveal more than I should appropriately. What I know of what's happening in casting, that's not their priority.
That's great. I'm just going based on what I saw in the character.
No, and I totally understand that. I'm just trying to put you at ease.
No, that's wonderful if they're not actually stuck on that.
Right, because from what I have experienced, that's a thing that it will be okay, hopefully.
Yeah, because these aren't biopics; these are imaginary characters. So, just saying.
No, this is real. Don't take this from me, McCarty.
I really thought
Oh,
John
I gotta-
Malkovich was playing Martin Luther King. I thought that was a thing they were doing.
Get out, McCarty. Get out.
No,
I'm in trouble. He's calling me by my last name.
I mean, Joseph Fiennes is playing Michael Jackson. Anything's possible.
Oh my God! Let's not.
Yeah,
Let's not talk about that.
Doom, go to the corner.
I think the Inhumans movie is going to shape up. I'm really excited. The breakdowns, descriptor-wise, not that strange. I agree, that was a weird move. But as far as them describing the characters, I think as long as they focus on that, then we'll have a great...
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also
Yeah.
possible that these are not real, like the Spider-Man ones were last year.
Very
Like
true.
where they had all this
Very
stuff, and
true.
that like turned out to be pretty much probably fake.
Well, but here's the thing, and this is why I didn't even include all the breakdowns in here and make it a bigger deal. The breakdowns basically said, so there's this character named, there's this character who might be Black Bolt, and we described him exactly how he is. Like, we know who Black Bolt is, we know Medusa, like, we've talked about it, so, like, for me, it was like, it's news, like, we know that this is coming, and we know, like, here's the real news to me. They're staying, if these breakdowns are true, if the leak breakdowns are true, they're keeping very close to the material, and all the characters that we want of the royal family are involved. So that would be Black Bolt, Medusa, Gorgon, Crystal, Karnak, and Triton. Like, that's like, okay, good, great, do that. Other than that, I kind of, yeah. So.
Yeah, I only bring it up because in my mind, ABC is listening to this show, and
Yeah.
they've heard my disappointment, and will make alterations.
Very true. ABC's all about us. They watch our show religiously every single week, I'm sure.
ABC, Doom demands diversity.
All right, let's move on to a little thing I like to call Avengers Infinity War.
Yay! Oh yes, very little thing. Very little. But I hear it's got a very small cast.
You're so mean.
Super
I
small.
wasn't gonna go that direction, and you did. And
What direction is he talking about?
Peter Dinklage.
I don't think she meant it
Oh, I
in
didn't
that
mean it that
direction.
way. No. Oh my gosh. No, I didn't.
I was like, wow, you're
I meant
really
as
going
in,
there.
No, I meant as in the cast size because we know like the cast list is all
You were being
massive.
ironic. All right.
I didn't mean it that way.
I was like, wow, she's beating this little
No. person
thing over the head.
No,
She's being so mean.
150% no.
All right, so Peter Dinklage
Express some rage.
is possibly joining the cast of the Infinity War and the as of yet unsubtitled Avengers 4 film.
Right.
We don't know who he is. We don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy. Variety broke the story of Peter Dinklage might be in this movie, and he would be in both of them if that's true. So I wanted to turn to you guys and ask, who is he?
Oh.
Who is he?
Yeah.
Guys, who is he? Who could he be? Who is he?
This would negate 15 years of hopes and dreams that Stan Lee was the Watcher, but I want Peter Dinklage to be a Uatu.
Dude.
Oh,
Dude,
what?
that
that
is my number
Think
one.
about it.
I want.
Think about it. That is a really good idea.
Yeah, I think it's perfect.
That's my number one idea.
He's got the gravitas
To
for it.
be a man
Definitely.
who is always there watching, and everything.
Yes.
As Peter Dinklage speaks, you're like quote quote quote, like everything he
Yeah.
says.
Yeah.
And you need that kind of
Yeah.
actor.
And he's got that empathy, but
Yep.
then he's also got that fierceness to him. So
Yeah.
that would really,
like
really work.
he has like a sympathetic authority to him. Like that I just like he's regal. Like he's regal. Like
yes, he is.
like
He's
absolutely
majestic.
regal. Yeah.
Here's the question: would you want a giant Peter Dinklage that's like taller than everyone, like Uatu is, or would you want like actual Peter Dinklage and the idea that this small person has been seeing everything?
I want all of it.
Yeah,
I
I don't-
want him
I
to
don't
be
think-
all of it.
I think he changes.
Yeah.
I don't think we have to change him.
Yeah.
I think he can be exactly who he is, and it would be fine.
Yeah.
We could also have him, float.
Yeah.
That's a possibility.
And he'd look
Yeah.
great in a robe.
Everybody flies, everybody levitates.
But
you
what
know?
I'm saying is I think it would be great if maybe the Avengers, and like if he is a Uatu, and here in my head, the Avengers initially meet him, and he's like, "Hey, I'm this cosmic being called the Watcher. I come from a race of Watchers. We're an ancient race. I'm an ancient race." And they're like, "Or what? Like, there's no way that this is true. Like, who are you to say these things?" And then, like, he raises the size of a skyscraper. He's like, "I am the Watcher." Like, oh Christ, So that's kind of in my head what would happen. So
we don't know if Uatu is owned by Fox or Marvel, and Fox and Marvel have been trading a lot of
they
late.
have.
So
they have.
That's
so,
why I'm saying Uatu.
Okay,
By
and then
the way,
also Spider Geronimo, awesome. A Watcher pays his debts.
Probably does.
Also, I dove deep into Marvel licensing about probably 2 months ago to help out with a video over on Collider. And so Marvel licensing is weird because in the late 90s, early 2000s, when they were trying to get out of bankruptcy, they created all these like package deals for studios to possibly buy them. And they were just pulling, like, they tried to stay like close to like Ghost Rider, Ghost Rider and Mephisto and Blackheart, but like they would also be like, but he's also kind of dark, so let's also pull in Damian Hellstrom. Let's also like, so they kind of like, it's not necessarily like Fantastic Four, like
right. There's subcategory.
Like they could have pulled Watcher into a lot of things. So like his licensing is a little, to me, from what I studied, his licensing could go a lot of different directions. So it's entirely possible that Fox outright owns the rights and that Marvel would have to figure out a sharing deal. Or it's possible that he's kind of a character similar to Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. So, because he's been in as many Avengers stories as he was.
Fantastic Four.
So, like, I think both studios would have a claim on his rights. So, anyway, let's move on. Pip the Troll. I think that's too on the nose. Like, Rob Liefeld was like, he's Pip the Troll. He's got to be Pip the Troll. I'm like, Rob Liefeld, calm down, Pouchmaster.
But it would work for, the Space Gem, right? Didn't Pip the Troll have the space gem? Like he hid it in his toes or something?
He ended up with it, yeah. As a part of the Infinity Watch after they defeated... So there was Infinity Gauntlet where they defeated Thanos. Then there was Infinity War where Adam Warlock's evil future self, the Magus, came back.
Yep.
And they created all these weird doppelgangers. That story, that is weird.
Yeah, that
is a weird one. But then they finally defeated him. He had the Infinity Gauntlet. And then they created the Infinity Watch where a future version of Adam Warlock, who's also a female, kind of comes back and helps preside over this Infinity Watch, and they disseminate the stones and all this other stuff. So he got the Space Stone after they beat the Thanos, and ended up having like this weird power to transport because like the Space Stone gifted it to him, whatever. So I still personally think it's on the nose. Like, here's a little person, he's Pip the Troll.
One of the things that Fox did right when they cast Peter Dinklage was they didn't make it... They didn't make it a cliche part. They didn't make it something that was like, and I loved that. And I think that's why Peter Dinklage did it. I think he did it because like he is a fantastic actor and he doesn't want to like, for years, he's got a bunch of amazing quotes like, only people wanted to cast me as elves in Santa movies for years and I'm not going to do that. And like, I don't feel like that is fair to his talent to be like, unless Pip the Troll was a lead, it's not fair to Peter Dinklage.
I think he's one of the best actors of our generation,
That's
regardless of his size or whatever else. Like he is an incredible actor, and I want to see him. I want to see him sink his teeth into something like I loved him in Days of Future Past. I love that they never acknowledged like, oh, you're a little person, screw that. I'm glad they didn't. So
that's what I mean. I don't think Marvel would make that mistake because they're so good at casting. I don't think they'd go that direction.
I agree. Plus Pip the Troll, you kind of have to have Adam Warlock, and I think like as much as I want to see Warlock, I think that's so much to throw into a film. So anyway, MODOK.
A lot of people in the chat room were saying
I've always wanted Peter Dinklage to be MODOK. I think that would be incredible. And like you need an actor of that gravitas
to make that of his caliber to make that work.
Here's this picture
to justify the insanity that is MODOK. A floating head with tiny arms.
There's an artist online. He works a lot with comicbook.com called Boss Logic. He named himself Boss Logic, and he does a lot of these like what if pictures, and this is the one he did of Peter Dinklage as MODOK.
Dude,
terrifying. Like I would be terrified. Here's the problem with MODOK. He is a completely separate storyline to Thanos. Like, if you do that, like, you're basically Spider-Man 3ing. It's like, we've got Sandman, we've also got Venom, and it's like, whoa, no, pick, please pick.
But they've confirmed him for the fourth Avengers is, so it could be that he just appears.
It could be that
in Infinity War,
and then they do like advanced idea mechanics, like they do something with AIM and like the resurgence of Hydra or something like that in the fourth film.
I mean, the one thing working against that is that we have technically introduced AIM into this world in Iron Man 2.
Yeah, and it was Kildrich or whatever his name was.
And I think most people are trying to forget that movie.
Some people.
But like, it's not the biggest one to like have something major call back to.
Yeah, fair.
Like AIM.
I also think it would be fun, like along with the Watcher. I think it would be cool if he was a character like the Living Tribunal. They name dropped him in Doctor Strange.
Ooh, that's true.
And the Living Tribunal is like, even Thanos is afraid of the Living Tribunal. Like he's not only like kind of like the cosmic entity that watches over our universe, but he watches over the entirety of the multiverse. And in the comics, the only characters that are possibly higher than him are the Beyonders. So it would be interesting if they did like the Secret War storyline in Avengers 4, and they brought in the Beyonders, and then they completely rebooted the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which they're going to have to do,
right?
Because all these like actors' contracts are coming up and everything. So like but there's the Living Tribunal with all of the cosmic entities.
And he's in the comics a lot lately, and Marvel tends to do that, where they're like, remember this character? Like, he's a big part of the most recent Thanos comic.
Yeah, I think it would be cool if he was a Living Tribunal. And because, again, that would, bringing him into Infinity War, and then seeing him somehow in the fourth film that would be a way to reboot the entire cinematic universe for them. And to keep it all in canon and not have to be like, cool, well, that was the end of that saga, we're starting again. You know, so...
Tim Page brought up someone we've talked about as the next big villain. He'd be a great Kang.
Oh, God, I would love to see Kang. Kang, I think,
Definitely
does actually
Fox.
belong to Fox,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
But... in the dream.
Oh my God, I would love to see Kang.
I remember James Gunn talking about this. Did he confirm that, or was Kang one of the ones that got split?
I think Kang is confirmed to be exclusively at Fox. I think probably what happened with what I was saying earlier with the licensing deal, I think Fox maybe cherry-picked him. They were like, oh, he would actually be a really interesting villain for Fantastic Four.
He's a long-term villain, too, and they don't really have a lot of that.
So I think Fox probably owns those rights outright, but I'm not an attorney. I've never seen those contracts.
Unless Phase Fantastic Four is a reality, and what a great way to tie it all together.
Oh my God, I would die. All right, here's
I want one.
here's my last one, and then and then you guys can shut me up and tell me what yours are. A member of the Black Order. So if you remember Jonathan Hickman's run on Infinity and the Avengers and the New Avengers from a couple years back, when Thanos was invading Earth, Thanos was going planet to planet trying to find his son and kill every last possible progeny of his. And he got to Earth knowing that Thane was here, and he was looking for Thane, couldn't find him. But he invaded Earth with the Black Order. And the Black Order were all of his generals, who were all equally as powerful as him. And I think they all, what was their other name? They had a whole other name, I can't remember. Obsidian, something Obsidian. Anyway, Corvus Glaive, Black Dwarf, or Ebony Maw are the three characters. Oh my God. Corvus Glaive is super strong guy. He had a scythe, and when he held the scythe, he was actually immortal. And he could kill anybody, like, oh, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead. Kind of very much like a death kind of character.
Yeah, like Sailor Pluto.
Yes.
Kidding. Go ahead.
And in order for the Avengers to defeat him, they had to get the scythe out of his
Sailor
hand.
Saturn.
Oh my God, stop.
Kidding.
Get out of
Continue.
here. Get out of here,
Continue.
McCarty. Then Black Dwarf was anything but a dwarf. He was a gigantic troll-like character, was super strong, impenetrable. Like, he's basically the Hulk, you know. But I don't think they're going to do that. I think where he would be interesting is as the Ebony Maw, who's one of my favorite characters to come out of the Black Order. He wasn't very strong, but he was so persuasive with his language, he can convince Avengers to fight each other.
Which would be like Dinklage's wheelhouse, big time.
So it would be interesting because Thanos isn't going to, like, maybe he'll come with just an army and they'll have, like, just a throwaway kid, like, Corvus Glaive, go kill, like, they won't treat him like a big deal like he was in the comics, but I would love to see them do something with the Black Order. The Cull Obsidian, I think, was the other, which is such a cool name.
Tim Chapman sent us a picture earlier.
Yeah, I've got that. If we want it to That's in the Google Drive too.
Of the
Doom.
Black Order, of basically the maybe the MCU edition of the assembled Black Order. I think
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
guy's
that's the
dead,
picture
though.
that
That's
I have.
it.
Oh man, yeah, that would be cool.
I think the first guy's dead, isn't he? Didn't he get killed? This guy.
I can't
Like
see
Glaive?
him. Who's that first guy? Was that
Glaive.
the guy from that Thanos was with, like the other?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought what's his name? Oh God.
Ronan killed him in
Ronan,
Guardians,
thank
but
you.
like,
Ronan
what
killed
do we
him.
know? Like maybe he's immortal, and he's like, yeah, you broke my neck, I'm back.
I'm back. Yeah, we don't know. But that's the only caveat. Would be
A Red
for-
Skull would be. A Red Skull as Ebony Maw would be interesting.
By the way,
Right.
looking at that image, Karen Gillan confirmed that she is going to be in Infinity War.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
Nebula.
So
Oh, man.
Nebula is coming
Yeah.
back for that one.
Also, to
That would
tangent
be
back to an
interesting.
earlier thing quickly, Kelly in the live chat, Kelly Z said that Pierce Brosnan is rumored to be Cable, and there was just a picture of Hugh Jackman. I think the rumor comes from. I think the rumor comes from. There's a picture.
That
There's
face,
a picture
that Matt Key face.
of Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds, and Pierce Brosnan hanging out. Probably just broing. But
Okay.
if that's anything more official than that, that'd be dope.
I don't know if I want Pierce Brosnan as Cable.
I want Mel Gibson, but that's
Hey,
never gonna
Pierce
happen.
Brosnan could make
No,
a
he's
decent Cable.
But like Cable's not.
know.
He's like
He's charming. Pierce
Super
is charming.
charming.
Cable's not.
Cable's not.
Yeah.
Pierce's charm.
He's
Cable's,
charming.
yeah. But that's someone I just wanted to give Kelly Z a little throw out.
Thank you,
This
Kelly.
one.
I
Thank you.
appreciate that.
And I think it just stems from that picture. To
Yeah.
me, Mel Gibson's going to be Cable forever.
Oh my god.
Have you seen his interviews while he's pitching Hacksaw Ridge? That man looks like a man out of time that doesn't know
he
what reality
does.
is. It's
He does.
incredible.
He does. He is that.
Cable.
He is that. Yeah.
He's been ready for this role
all
his
right.
whole life.
So we've got.
He specifically lost in like 1941.
Marquia, did you add this in about Victor Rosario on Twitter?
Yeah. Well, because we had a couple of people that were because you put up, be like, oh, Dinklage, we're gonna talk about that, and then Victor Rosario at Vic Rosefur was like, rumor says he plays, and I'm gonna butcher this, Eitri, E-I-T-R-I,
Yeah.
a dwarf king. He's the maker of
Mjolnir.
yeah, Mjolnir. Him and his brother Broker. Brokkr, I
I
believe.
mean, that would be interesting.
So,
and it said,
yeah.
he's saying that rumor says he'll play Eitri. And I don't know if that would like warrant him being in the fourth Avengers film, but there's also a rumor, and this is like, I don't know if this is a spoiler or not. So if you don't want to listen to like the next minute, don't. But it's a Thor Ragnarok rumor that spoiler, Mjolnir might be destroyed.
Ooh. In that
Because
case,
like Thor ends up on the planet without Mjolnir, and I don't know if it's destroyed, if they banish it to another dimension, if they find a way to make him unworthy of it so he can't use it, but he doesn't have it, and one of those rumors is he doesn't have it because it's destroyed.
interesting.
I feel like he'd get it back in the third act. I think it's just. I think it.
But he may not.
But then you could have the maker of I keep on butchering the name Mjolnir.
Mjolnir, yeah.
Okay, of the hammer. You could have the maker of the hammer like restructure it back together, so that could be.
But that's where it would be
Yeah, that
interesting
would
if it's Eitri, but then
Eitri.
Eitri. But
can't
I
pronounce
don't understand why he would be in the fourth film. I mean, maybe he's not. Maybe the rumor is incorrect. But that would actually be interesting for Thor to be like, I need a new Mjolnir. Peter Dinklage is like, I've got it right here for you, bub.
Or Ku Scar in the live chat is a really cool idea. Dinklage's own Reese.
Oh,
I love that.
he's probably strictly Fantastic Four.
He's in the comics so much. He literally was Civil War. I mean,
You Secret War.
thank you.
Yeah.
That could be cool.
I mean, yeah, that's interesting. And he would be very good at playing the insanity of that.
Right.
But
So I'm just that's a cool. I love
that's
that
a
idea.
cool idea. I don't think that's what it is, but that is cool. And I think Fox probably owns those rights pretty exclusively. And then Colin
Fox.
Sapp at Colin_Sapp. Hey Colin, what if Peter Dinklage is Adam Warlock? I think that would be pretty cool.
I'd love it.
Yeah.
I would love it. I'd watch him have a
Basically
golden
love
body.
love him as anything.
All right. Do you guys have? We need to move on to the Defenders. Do you guys have anything else for Peter Dinklage?
No.
Just
No?
hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
Watu all the
Just
way.
thank
That's
you for
fine.
being part of our universe.
Thank you, Peter Dinklage.
All right.
Thank
So
you.
here we are with our big thing to talk about, and we've got no time to do it.
The pictures are so cool.
So let's just go through those pictures real quick, Doom. Let's just look at those, and then I'll figure out how much time we've got to discuss
Are
all
these
these quotes.
Entertainment Weekly pictures? Or
These are all
Okay, cool.
the EW pictures.
Yeah.
Let's just start at the beginning. There's the cover. We've got all of them there. You know, there's nothing to see there, but it's cool to see them all together.
I
So-
love them all together.
I love seeing them all together. And by the way, for those of you listening to us on iTunes, I apologize. We have no way to show you these things. But just go Google it,
Yeah.
look it up, EW Defenders, and you'll see every single picture.
And then also I did a segment on Screen Junkies News where it went
Yeah.
through each of the pictures, so you can look that up too.
Nice. Oh, and I wrote about it on Geek Girl Authority. So you can go
Awesome.
find like Geek Girl Authority, Matt Key, Defenders, and you'll find every single one of these pictures. So we've got Danny Rand, Iron Fist, played by Finn Jones, attacking a dude in a gas mask. Don't know what's going on there. And then we've got Kristen Ritter as Jessica Jones walking with Trish Walker, who's played by Rachel Taylor, I believe is her name. And again, like, there's nothing to see here. Like, it's just them walking and talking, but it's exciting to know, like, oh, like the entire, like all of Jessica Jones's world is now colliding with all three of these other worlds.
Right.
They've done
the-
it in little ways. Like, we heard Trish during Luke Cage, like in a radio show.
Yeah.
Voiceover, but
Yeah.
now they're gonna be hanging out.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's so great. So here's a picture of all four of them
with the nip slip.
with the wardrobe malfunction.
Why is Jessica Jones holding whipped cream?
That I think that's a spray paint.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes more sense.
Yeah,
Whipped
yeah.
cream, exposed nipples. The show's getting.
I guess it was the exposed
Doom.
nipple that made me think it was whipped cream.
Wow,
No,
Doom.
I think it's
We
pretty
need
sure
to
that's
party
not
at your
whipped cream.
place.
Yeah. We're coming to Latveria tonight, Doom.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got all four. I think this is one of the first official pictures. Oh, okay.
Boom.
This is Sigourney Weaver playing the role of the villain whose name. All we have on her is Sigourney Weaver playing a villain named Alexandra. We've got a quote from the showrunner. Let me get down to it. Showrunner Marco Ramirez says, "Sigourney is the kind of person you can buy as the smartest person in the room, who you can also buy as a person holding a flamethrower. Her character is a very powerful force in New York City. She's everything Sigourney is: sophisticated, intellectual, and dangerous."
Yes.
He goes on to say, "I can't describe too much about her, but I can say that we knew it had to be the threat the Defenders are all up against. We knew it had to be something big. We knew it would take something massive to pull these four characters from their individual worlds to work together, but also small enough that it felt like it existed in our world, like the Netflix street level world. It needed to be a crisis that brought these people together, but it still needed to be a very street level crisis. That's the world we're dealing with, so it couldn't be anything too sci-fi or too supernatural or too big. That's the stuff for the movie." So I know that's a long quote. Thanks for bearing with me.
It fits
bang,
into
boom.
your theory though, from like before when you were saying
Yeah.
IGH.
IGH.
Yeah.
I think a lot. I think she's probably the CEO of IGH, or she works with IGH, because that would explain Jessica Jones, why she's going to Midland. Because so here's the other thing. Let me back up. Sorry, I'm so excited about this. The EW revealed that the four Defenders seem to meet up for the first time at the giant pit that we saw in Daredevil 2, where Daredevil and Elektra fought the Hand and all that stuff, and it's bottomless, and Daredevil never heard the bottom of it, whatever. So all four of the Defenders, on their own, following their own breadcrumbs, end up here around the same time. Then the Hand attacks, and they all have to fight their way out of it. Apparently there's a massive hallway scene with all four of the Defenders
hugest
fighting.
hallway ever.
I have not heard about that.
Oh,
No,
I have
for real,
not.
for real. Like,
Wait, seriously?
no, for real.
Man, I want the hallway scene.
I didn't copy down the quote from Charlie Cox, but the quote from him was, he showed up on set that day, not fully knowing what they were going to do. Then he saw the hallway and the other three Defenders there, and he's like, "Well, this is going to be a long day."
Oh, that's amazing.
What if they walk into the hole and gravity changes so that they're walking on the side of it, and the hole is just a giant
Oh my
hallway?
God, it would be
Man.
amazing. And the other thing he said about
Inception.
the hallway scene and just the fighting in general is that they had to keep in mind all their personalities. They couldn't just like make cool fight scene. They also
Right.
had to consider their personalities. Jessica Jones is the wild card. She doesn't want to be there. She's only just trying to
Yeah.
track down these clues. So I don't know that she's constantly trying to escape, but she's just like the wrecking ball. She's like, just get out of my way, punch, whatever. Danny Rand and Daredevil are both the offense. Like, Daredevil's all his fight acrobatics and brawling.
Yeah.
Then Iron Fist is
We'll find out.
super
But
duper
we know
kung
he's
fu
got that,
ninja
yeah.
with an Iron Fist, and they said it was fun to find ways for him to just like constantly be using this like hammering fist in the fight scenes with these other three who don't have that. And then Luke Cage is the defense and the shield.
Where he's just like he walks up,
get behind me, punches
someone.
go.
I can't. My brain can't handle the idea of the four of them in a hallway. Like for some reason, that's like the most exciting news I've heard in years.
I know, it's so fun. So,
oh man.
Anyway, going back to Sigourney Weaver, who we just saw the picture of.
She's fighting in the hallway too.
She's the smartest person in the room, and she's also holding a flamethrower. Like, so she's unhinged and crazy. She's also the smartest person in the room, which makes her supremely dangerous.
Man.
She's like, I know how to kill you 1,000 different ways. Screw it, here's a flamethrower. Like, I love it. So
how about if her and Mariah ever got together?
oh my God, it'd be so bad. So, but I do think that a lot of it's going to be wrapped around IGH. Maybe there's like a drug they're trying to flood the streets with that's turning people into superhumans. It's like mutant growth hormone, MGH. Maybe it's inhuman growth hormone. I don't know. Like, I hope that that's not it. I've never seen what IGH actually stands for. It kind of makes sense though. But I doubt that that's what they're doing with it.
It's the company name, and that name has been around longer than Inhumans have
that's
been part of
also
this
true.
universe.
But maybe they've known about Inhumans for years because they're the hand. Whatever. Don't know. But I think that they're probably somehow wrapped up with the hand. I think the hand maybe controls IGH, like it's a subsidiary of the hand, like as a shadowy organization, whatever.
It's going to be a fun old time.
I wonder if I'm thinking, what if the whole like leads to Kunlun in some way?
Oh, it'd be so cool. But that's the other thing. We don't know what Danny Rand's storyline is, so we don't know why he's there. Except he's probably exploring breadcrumbs of the hand because he's absolutely familiar with the hand.
Right.
Like in Kunlun, he's absolutely familiar with the hand. Daredevil's familiar with the hand, so that explains why the two of them are there. Jessica Jones, unless she's like being a private eye and following like someone's death or disappearance, and that leads her there.
Right.
My guess is that she's investigating IGH on her own. And Luke Cage, who just found out about his like super strength, whatever else with Claire Temple, I think he was able to track it down to IGH. I can't remember exactly.
Maybe
but
following the chemicals. That kind
I
of
think
thing
he
is a
probably ends
possibility.
up finding out his powers come from IGH. So that would explain why all four of them are there. 2 with the hand, 2 with IGH. Oh my God, they're working together. Defenders.
As long as it's not all, I'd be okay with 2 IGH, just not all, because like I don't want it to go Amazing Spider-Man 2 Oscorp.
Yeah. Nor do I. So we have a lot of quotes about how they work together. With Cox saying, Charlie Cox, who plays Matt Murdock, saying, "What a bunch of misfits!" In a great way. It's like a misfit Scooby gang. They don't belong together. Yeah. Then he also says, "From what we've shot so far, they just wanted to really make a difference and help people out." But where's the... Jeff Loeb had a great quote about him saying, "The Defenders didn't have a D on their belt buckles and a Defender's tower. We agreed from the very beginning that these folks could, at the very end, go, 'I never want to see your face again,' and just walk away." So like where the Avengers are like, we've got Avengers Tower, we've got a secret base up in New York, and we all live there, and we all go fight crime together. These guys are like, oh my God, I've got to fight with Luke Cage again. Okay, I guess we've got to do that.
You're like that guy's like a brick wall sometimes.
Yeah, but I think my favorite quote about their teaming up came from Kristen Ritter, who said, "No one's best friends and all of the Defenders. This is a reluctant team up." I love that. I think that's great. Let's go ahead and look at this picture real quick, Doom. So we're looking at a picture of the 4 Defenders standing in front of like what looks like a moving truck or a cargo truck of some sort, and they've written "Public Enemies," slashed it out with Defenders. So, and they're all like, I think it's like very good. Like every single character is in a pose that I think tells us about their character. Like Luke Cage is just like chilling, just like, what? Like, come at me. Like, you can't hurt me. Like, come at, like, he's just chilled. Daredevil's ready for action, like loosening his tie, like, all right, are we going to do this? Jessica Jones was the one spray painting. She's like, oh, I got caught, whatever, screw you guys. And then Danny Rand is like on the others. And I love that they bookended the 2 in the middle, the 2 on the outside, because the 2 on the outside are the heroes for hire. And he's just poised for action. Like, I'm trying to chill, but I'm also on my feet and I can jump and
he's at his readiness level.
Yeah. It also looks like a freaking comic, man. Like, it also just looks like a comic cover.
It does.
That looks
so
like
good.
I'd buy that book.
And did you
so
notice the truck number at the very top, 616?
Nicely done.
Well, speaking of, you buy this book, do you guys hear about the new Defenders series?
Oh yeah, the new Defenders comic book
the...
is actually going to be these 4, which has never been. It's never actually been that.
Yeah, I know. Like before, it was like Netflix's The Defenders. Now it's like, oh no, wait, this exists now.
Charlie Cox said he went out when when he like first took the role or knew about the Defenders. He like went and picked up a copy of the Defenders and was like, "Wait a minute, Daredevil's not in this."
Yeah, Daredevil isn't in this at all. Yeah, where do I show
Yeah.
up? So talking real quick about Matt Murdock, he says that it's been a couple months since the end of his season, and he's actually trying to not be a vigilante. Because like when he was a vigilante, he fell in love with a girl and she died.
Yeah.
So now he's like, all right, well, I'm all about Karen Page. I have been for a while. Last time I did that, my girl died. I'm not going to do it anymore. But he described it as an addict. He's having a hard time giving it up. So we probably see him go out here and there, but only like under extreme circumstances.
Yeah.
So it seems like, I think maybe The Hand makes a resurgence. There's a great picture of him. And I love that all the picture,
red.
the red, like,
Yeah,
and
the
then
colors.
Luke Cage
Yeah.
had yellow, and Jessica Jones was purple, and Danny Rand was a little green. Here we see a picture of Danny Rand, played by Finn Jones, standing with Colleen Wing, Jessica Henwick. We know nothing about these two characters. Their series hasn't come
Yeah.
out. There he is with the green, kind of yellowish green.
She's not in her white
She's not in
onesie.
her white, onesie. We'll probably get a nod to that.
Yeah.
Jessica Jones in the purple, like living above the liquor store with, I think maybe she's holding a camera.
Yeah, she's holding a camera in that picture.
Luke Cage starts off in prison.
Yes.
Interesting.
And he goes on to say, Mike Coulter says, he's doing his time. He's not in prison the whole time, obviously. That
Well,
can't
he
be a movie.
he can't be.
So he probably gets out in the very first episode. But what he says about it, he's been able to come clean and deal with his past. And now that that's out of the way, I think we can give him a different approach to life. So all of his series was, I've got to stay hidden. I don't want to come out and be this hero because all the cameras will be on me, and then I'll have to go back to jail. Now I've done my time. I'm out. This is my face. I'm kicking your ass. Like he's coming out of hiding. And I love that. And he describes himself as, I'm the guy with the wisdom. If you want to make sure something works, run it up the flagpole. Then he says, this is for Heroes for Hire. He says, we definitely want to pay homage to the fanboys, but we want to make it work. We want to make it make sense in this time period. So like, not like the 70s, like that whole thing,
Yeah. Well, they didn't do that in the other one.
Yeah.
So.
And he says,
Except for that one flashback.
about Danny Rand.
That was a
Amazing flashback.
gorgeous flashback.
Yeah, about Danny Rand, he says he's a young guy. There's an exuberance that Iron Fist comes with that Luke Cage wants to temper a bit. So it's like wisdom uses versus youth. So Danny Rand is, I can do these things, and I'm an incredible martial
so
artist,
cute.
and punch, and break, and Luke Cage is like, whoa. We don't have to do it that way. There's a different way,
Yeah.
so.
He probably loses his mind when he first sees
Yeah.
Misty Knight.
Yeah.
Are you guys, speaking of which, Marky, are you ready to lose your mind a little bit?
Wait, what? Oh yes, this one.
I love this picture.
Oh,
So
this is-
we've got Misty Knight, played by
And she's
Simone Missick.
interrogating Jessica Jones.
And Jessica Jones is in cuffs, and
Yes.
she can break out of him. So she's just like, all right, let's talk.
I'll
you know
humor
this-
you for now, Misty
Yeah,
Knight.
yeah, I love it.
You know that this scene is going to be so incredible
Yeah.
between the two. It's like, what did Jessica Jones get arrested for? What
Yeah. What
maybe
was
it was
she doing?
trespassing.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
it was something as minuscule as that, or maybe it was she was pulling some Jessica Jones mess, and then Misty Knight's like, oh, you don't know me, but you're
Yeah.
about to know me.
Yeah,
and
you're
then,
about to know me. Yeah, come with
But
me,
this
young
scene-
lady.
Oh, yes.
So let's see. It was Jessica Jones is still dealing with the aftermath of Kilgrave, but now she's also dealing with the success of her private eye firm, and she's not dealing with it well.
Well, no,
Like
she's
more and more people are coming to her. She's got a lot of cases, and she's like, no. Please just let me hide under the radar. Like, I don't want to be famous. Like, I need the work. Yes, thank you, but just go away. And she describes her relationship with Matt Murdock as cat and mouse. I don't necessarily know what that really fully means. Lastly, let's talk about Danny Rand, because we need to start wrapping up. Danny Rand is the one who really knows what's going on. This is Finn Jones talking about it. He knows how serious the situation is that they're up against. So again, I think it's the Hand and Kunlun, all of that stuff. And Danny Rand, he's the one that kind of drives the group to get the crap done. He says a different word, but we're not going to say that on our show. But I want to, let me see, where's this quote? So he talks about in Iron Fist, which we know nothing about except that it's Iron Fist story. He says, in Iron Fist, his series, he's so unwound because he doesn't know who he is. There's always so much confusion, and he's always on the brink of a total meltdown or totally annihilating someone, mainly himself. So he's got these powers, and now he's in the real world, and he's like so confused as to what's going on and everything around him. He's just like lashing out and just decimating the world around him. There's always this high energy, frenetic tension. But in Defenders, this series, he's definitely more responsible. He has ground, has drive. I'd say that's the key word for Danny in the Defenders. He drives all of the Defenders to get behind him to solve this issue, whatever it ends up being.
He'll gather them together, or at least be a part of. That's interesting, especially since we haven't met him yet.
Well, we haven't met him yet. We don't know what's going on in the series, but it's interesting to see to hear what his arc is going to be. In Iron Fist, he's like, "Oh God, what's going on? Punch, 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 blow, 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 blow." And then in Defenders, he's like, "Okay, guys, check it out. Here's what's going on. This is bad. Let's go defeat them."
I could see him being a bonding agent. You know, he's newer than the rest of them, so he still has that enthusiasm, that want.
Yeah. So anyway,
that character is just more excitable in general.
Yeah,
he's a joking kind of guy.
And all the rest of them who are like, the world's terrible.
All right, we definitely need to move on. If you want to see a lot more of those quotes, I wrote about it on Geek Girl Authority. You can also just look it up. All over the place. Like, every website ran with it. Screen Rant had a lot on it.
Like Screen Junkies News.
I think Collider and Slash Film, I think, had the best write-ups of it.
Marquee is Screen Junkies News as well.
Absolutely. You should. Absolutely should. All right, Marquia, we don't have a lot of time left, but let's run through some shout-outs and everything else real quick.
Yeah, just real quick. Birthday shout-out to my younger brother.
Oh, happy birthday.
On yesterday.
Baby McCarty.
Well, no, Sunday. Yeah, Baby McCarty. He's 25. But shout-out
Baby
to him.
to me.
Yeah. So LP, also known as Isaac Levon McCarty Jr. the fourth. Happy birthday.
Fourth. Whoa.
Yeah. I wanted to do a birthday shout out to Betty White because she's 95 years old. And it's 2017 and she's brightness and love itself. So yeah. And then birthday shout out to Eric Sabio's at E Sabio Cells, Florida's son, Parker. He turned 2 today.
Happy 2.
And I'm hoping he's named after the one true Spider-Man. Well, no, Miles is now actually in my heart as well. But Parker is important.
And you also wanted to give a shout out to a man named Damien, who ran into me around Christmas time.
Yes.
And we're going to try and have him come and sit on our Cosmic Couch.
Yeah, because shout out to that fan, Damien, because he found Matt Key this weekend. Remember, we had lost him.
Not this weekend.
Over the Christmas.
Over Christmas
break. Yes. So he might be joining us on the show because he made an impression.
He was a very nice guy.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy. He's a hardworking, and his little girl was adorable.
Oh.
Very, very sweet. Very sweet family.
Awesome. Okay, so we have a couple of questions. It looks like we're... Okay, great. So from at Mother Joker, who do you think are the fan favorite characters from the classic comics? He's talking about Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, okay.
On this. So...
From the classic comics are completely different from...
Yeah, I don't know those guys.
Well, so here are the classic comics. Charlie 27... Martinex from Pluto, who can shoot flame and ice at the same time. He's kind of an elemental.
Oh, like that new
Astro Vance Astro, who becomes Major Victory, I think. When in the 31st century they discover the frozen shield of Captain America, and he takes it up because he's like, even 1,000 years from now, Captain America's still a legend, and they're like, the shield of Captain America, he was real. I will hold his shield for him, and he kind of becomes like the Captain America of the 31st century, named Major Victory, I think is Major Victory. But Vance Astro, by the way, has one of the most tragic, like, he is Captain America, like his backstory is Captain America, but far worse.
Ooh.
So Captain America...
does he become a Nazi?
No. Captain America gets frozen and regenerated 25 years later, whatever it is, and now he's an Avenger, whatever. Vance Astro is shot into space and cryogenically frozen for a 1,000-year journey to Alpha Centauri.
Ooh, okay.
And he gets to Alpha Centauri 600 years after Earth has discovered faster than light travel, and they've already been to Alpha Centauri for 600 years. So he lands 1,000 years after he's been frozen, thinking, I'm finally here, and I'll tell Earth all that I've found. Oh, hey, everybody that beat me here. Great.
He's like,
why didn't you stop me?
He's like, hey, have you heard about MySpace?
Yeah.
Everybody loves that.
Hey, you guys ever heard about Facebook? Yeah.
LiveJournal?
LiveJournal. You guys heard about LJ? It's great. So I actually love that character because it's so sad. It's just how useless your whole journey is now.
Man.
Like, they have 600 years of information over you. Like, it's so sad. Anyway, he was one of the originals. Yeah, there's not a lot there. Like, Yondu Udanta was one of the originals.
Yeah.
So,
and he finally gets his mohawk in this next one. I'm very excited.
Yeah, full on mohawk. Yeah,
pretty
so
stoked.
fun.
Well, mohawks are awesome no matter what.
So yeah, I don't know like the other the classics. Like it's a weird one. Not a weird question. It's just like the comics themselves are very strange.
Cool. We have Michael Benson at Mike the Beast 92. Do you think Mr. Sinister is going to play a big part in Logan? Will we see him in a future trailer? Thanks, guys.
I hope we don't see him in a trailer.
Yeah.
I want Wolverine to go through something traumatic, and I kind of hope Sinister, in the comics, he's obsessed with the DNA of the Summers brothers. I think it'd be kind of cool if he's responsible for X-23.
Ooh.
Sinister. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Well, yeah,
happens.
I mean the genetics. I mean, he would. That makes complete sense.
And the end of the
Complete
movie,
sense.
and I think he should be the puppeteer behind X-23. And I think it'd be a cool way to tie into the other X-Men movies. So I hope we don't see him in the trailer, but I do think he'll be maybe not screen time big, but importance big.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay.
I'll
what
take
else?
Mr. Sinister in any way, shape, or form. Let's see. Dalton, at Dalton W. Could we ever see Hercules and the Greek gods in the MCU?
Probably not.
We've got so many characters.
There's
Probably
so
not. I think it would be
many.
cool.
Yeah,
but, like,
I love that you love them.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing: Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like,
so.
yeah,
I mean,
like
Wonder
it's-
Woman kind of has that.
They've
covered.
kind of got that on lock. Like,
Yeah.
And it looks great.
I think if there's any opportunity, Thor Ragnarok, it's either Thor Ragnarok or nothing. Like,
Yeah,
running
Right.
into like
Yeah.
Herc in the ring.
Yeah, but then they've
Could
got
work, but, like,
Celestials. So
They also
Yeah.
have to explain why
know.
Hercules to the everyday audience is
Yeah.
a Marvel character.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Not to
It's-
be confused with Kevin Sorbo.
I mean,
Yeah.
Thor is. They're both from mythology.
But they're both
Yeah.
from mythology, but Thor is like a Norse mythology. So now you're saying, so wait, both mythologies
Yeah, it's
are.
a lot.
Yeah,
It's just a lot.
That's a lot to do.
I
Might
think
as
it'd
well
be
throw
cool, but
Titans
I
in
don't. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever see it.
Yeah, but
personally.
yeah, because Wonder Woman with Ares and stuff. There was the rumor that Danny Houston might be that, so that's cool.
Confirmed.
Confirmed?
Yeah,
Confirmed
Ares,
that he's
Awesome.
who?
for
He's who?
Ares.
Awesome.
Ares
Wait,
and Wonder Woman.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
That's rad.
Yeah.
That's cool.
but I didn't know it was confirmed that Danny was definitely it.
That's cool. All right.
Check out DC Movie News from last Thursday.
Okay, so Lewis Cox at Lewis1022. What does the rumor about Sony being bought out by CBS mean for Spider-Man?
I actually haven't even heard that rumor.
I haven't heard that either.
But I don't think that CBS could actually afford to buy all of Sony.
Yeah,
Like,
it seems like one
like maybe
bigger than the
CBS.
other.
Like I mean, maybe Viacom. Like CBS is a
I don't know.
subsidiary of Viacom, I think, or maybe I don't know. Maybe
That's like a merger at that point. Those two
Yeah.
companies are massive.
yeah, they're way too big. I don't know anything about that rumor. I'm sorry. I don't know what it would
I
mean
mean,
for
Sony,
Spider-Man. But
Sony Entertainment, maybe, as a separate entity, not Sony as a whole.
yeah, but I can't see Sony Entertainment like Sony being like no, take Sony Entertainment. Like anyway,
mean,
I don't know.
That stuff happens. It happened recently with like smaller companies, but like big enough, like multi-million-dollar companies that like basically have they have a TV division and a film division, and
Yeah.
then they become completely different companies because of just how you separate things.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on. We've got some comments, and then we're gonna wrap up and get out.
Yeah. Actually, we've already seen two of the pictures. It was Tim's and Matthews.
Tim Chapman.
Dennis.
I like that. I don't think that that's what they're gonna do, but if they did that, I think that would be cool.
Oh, I'm sorry. And then I think I gave props to the wrong person. Matthew Dennis at Matt Dennis 214 was the one that sent us the Black Panther
Matt Dennis.
figurine collage. So thank you for that. And then Stephen J. Picarello at Sterling Mont sent us a collection of cardboard cutouts, including Doctor Strange.
What is this? His collection?
I'm not certain. He said like I saved the best for last. Sorry guys. And it's this where it's a
Oh my God, that's awesome.
yeah. There's a Doctor Strange cutout in the middle, and he looks fantastic.
And he's standing next to Martin Freeman.
Matt, I didn't know you were posing for cardboard cutouts.
I am.
Yeah.
I am. Or is it?
It's his whole new thing. Yeah, it's Martin Freeman.
That is Martin Freeman. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Watson
And then there's
team
an
up.
R2D2 way in the back.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. That's
It's
fun.
Watson and Doctor Strange.
Yeah, it's a confusing crossover.
Yeah, but it's fun. So those are some of the. Well, we saw the pictures. that we
Dr.
were sent.
Sherlock. Yeah. That's great. All right.
yeah,
well,
yeah.
let's wrap it up. Doom. Last show.
I know.
Yeah.
How do you feel, buddy? You okay? You all right? I'm not okay. I'm gonna miss you.
I'm gonna miss you guys. Like this show is meant a lot to me. You guys, the fans are amazing. I'm gonna seriously miss doing this every week. It has been a big part of my life for a year now.
Yeah. And it's been great to have you.
And like we said at the top, I'm not going completely away. I'm going to extend my Shield minutes, but I'm unfortunately going to be working during the show. If you missed last week's show, I'm starting. I've already started. I'm going to be over at Geek and Sundry, working behind the scenes on some of their Twitch content, and so you'll be able to maybe see me working around the cameras and stuff over there. So now.
Good work, Jim. Good work.
Fantastic.
Parting thoughts. I dropped my headphones.
I'm still attached.
Yeah.
Doom didn't think that one.
Bye, Doom.
But yeah,
thank you for everything.
Thank you guys. Find me on Twitter or Instagram at @ZachWilson, ZACH. And my one last plug. I haven't announced it on the show. I have a comic book.
Yay!
It
looks great. You showed me it before we left for holidays.
Yeah,
it looks great.
Thank you. We released it. It's on Comixology now.
Sick,
so you can go.
That's so
buy
amazing.
It's only 99 cents because it's a short one. It's like 10, 11 pages. But yeah, it's available now. It's on my Twitter profile. It's just called Kid Cop. It's ridiculous. It's silly. It's very violent.
Yeah, I love it. It looks great.
Check it out. And if you do, this is as a parting gift to me, maybe. Hit it with a review. We only have one review so far. So if you buy it, let us know what you think. And
that's awesome.
The rating on Comixology is a great way to help.
That's awesome.
Find it. Kid Cop.
Kid Cop. All right. Coy, you had something that you wanted to say?
A couple people sent us, it was a bit of news.
Yeah.
A couple people sent us a thing about the rumor that the production designer for Infinity War, so there are multiple worlds in the movie.
Yeah.
Basically
Makes
a quote
sense.
explaining that much like Doctor Strange, there's a lot of worlds. I just wanted to thank you guys for that. We'll actually go over that. There's a quote, so we'll go over that next week. It seems exciting, and we could probably vamp on it a bit more and talk about it. And also the rumor that Eva Green is in talks for Death.
Yes.
And
What? I
that
haven't.
would make
Whoa.
me... I couldn't think of a better Death.
Thanks, Eddie Brock, for that one.
Yeah, because she is like this amazing dark sexuality that would drive both Thanos and Deadpool insane, which I totally understand. So yeah, I love that idea in that casting rumor. That's perfect.
Where's the casting rumor coming from? Do you know?
Cosmic News, who have run some fairly credible stuff. It started on Reddit, which concerns me, but you know, the internet. But yeah, I love those ideas, and I wanted to give a quick shout out for you guys for sending them. Thank you.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you. Yeah.
And my shout out will be that I'm on TV Fights today. So
hey.
I'm gonna go get my TV fight on right after this, and I'm only gonna do one Marvel thing, but I gotta do one. It's gonna be exciting. So I will talk to you guys then if you watch TV Fights, and I'll see you next week.
All right. Markia, anything?
Oh, for just regular.
Hi, I'm Markia.
Oh, hi. Yeah. I guess I'm.
Darth Thin Mints or whatever. Like, who are you?
Oh yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Hey everybody, welcome to Marvel Movie News.
Yeah.
I'm Mackie.
Sorry,
do you have
I was
anything
trying
coming
to.
up?
I was trying to read the article. The past weekend I went to the Sailor Moon R premiere.
I had so many friends go to that.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, I didn't know
this
about
media
it.
like
Sailor
knocked it out of
Moon,
the park.
very important.
Yeah, I've got pictures on my Twitter, which you can find at Markia McCarty, MarkeiaMcCarty. Yeah, just improv things in general. If you're in the Hollywood area and you want to see some live comedy on Thursday, my team Big Yellow Taxi is going to be doing his Taxi Cab Confessions meets improv.
So fun. I love that. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I'll put that on Twitter.
And I'm Mackie. You follow me there, and I have not been tweeting over the holidays. Like I took a social media break, but I guess I've got to get back to it now. Oh, my life. Anyway, I got nothing.
I'm gonna tweet my cross country journey. If I end up in a place where any of you Marvellites are, I'm gonna run into you on the streets.
That's awesome.
And I won't be here next week because of said journey. So.
Oh yeah, I won't be here next week.
No, I know. Doom won't be here. It'll be me by myself.
Oh, but I do need to answer because the chat is asking. Yes, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'll still be on the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. after show.
Perfect.
On AfterBuzz TV. I'm like that.
Great.
Oh, good. I'm
Great.
glad you have time for the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show.
Well,
that makes sense for you.
show to the middle of the night when we tape that.
And Vegito247 thanks. Darth Thin Mints is my Snapchat.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I put stuff up there.
All right, let's wrap this extra long show up.
It was Doom's last show.
It was Doom's last
Yes.
show in honor of Doom. Long, extra long, super duper awesome show. All right, thank you for joining us. Goodbye to Doom. We'll miss you guys next week, but I'll be here holding the fort down by myself. talking about God knows what. All right, good night, everybody!
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network. The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.
Doom demands more tweets.